What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Backfire. Today we're talking about ear protection. I'm going to make today's video short, but it is really important. I grew up with my dad in the military, and he's an audiologist in the military, and so that's what he did all day, is help people shooting guns all day to not have hearing damage. And so it was instilled in us from a very young age that we always wear ear protection. So I own literally a bucket full of ear pro. I've tried so many different things, and so many companies have sent me different ear pro, and I kind of always go back to the same two staple. Number one is this guy, just the cheap little silicone earplugs. These are great when you're shooting rifles because you want to be able to maintain a cheek weld and not have muffs get in the way. They're really cheap. I can just buy a bag of them on Amazon and it's fine. Here's what I've noticed about these silicone things though. You've got to get the right ones. I'm going to link to the ones that I like on Amazon. I bet I've been through 6 or 7 brands that just were not enough protection and my ears would still ring. These ones are great and they're just like stupid cheap. Sometimes I prefer to muff, like if I was going to a range and you just really want to hear everybody around you. So again, I'll try a bucket of them. These impact ones are really popular on Amazon. They don't work well for me though. They kind of hurt my ears if I'm shooting more than 30, 45 minutes. And so the ones that I like actually are the Walker's Razor. I don't have them here because they're in my truck. But those are the two that I've kind of been with forever, and those have worked the very best. And then Axil sent me these GS Extreme, and I thought, maybe we'll see how it goes, but I had heard a lot of really good things from other people that had tried them, but I am very picky about my ear pro. So I tried them out and I just said, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna try them for a month or so. If I'm still grabbing those instead of my standby at the end of the month, then I'll talk about it on the channel. It's now been a couple months and these are the only ear pro that I've grabbed ever since I tried them. So a few things that I like about them. One, they don't get in the way. You can still maintain a cheek weld when you're shooting rifle, pistol, whatever. It's always going to work. You can use the same ear pro. That's nice. Second thing is the battery life is crazy ridiculous on these things. I didn't quite understand their website. It says 25 hours of hearing enhancement only. Is hearing enhancement, are they talking about suppressing gunshots? And then 9 hours of audio only, so is that like Bluetooth? I didn't quite understand. What I will say is I went on 7 different shooting trips and I'd never charged them and they never ran out. At that point I was like, I should probably charge them again, so I just did. It's just never run out, so I really don't know how long they last, but it's a long time. Also like that it has a USB-C charger. Thank you for not making me get a new charger. USB-C is the way to go. Thank you. The other thing that I like is that the audio doesn't cut in and out. Almost all of the other ear pro I have, it'll sense a gunshot and everything goes quiet. So if somebody's like talking, then it kind of cuts in and out. It's a problem at the range where you have a lot of guns going off and it's cutting in and out and you still can't quite hear the people around you. These, you'll think that they're not turned on because a gunshot will go off, but the voice of sounds and everything is just perfect. Nothing happens with it. So that was really nice. The last big pro that this has over other options that I've tried is the audio quality is really good. Like it sounds like you're listening to your AirPods Pro or whatever. Like it sounds like good quality, just the speech, or if you're listening with music through the Bluetooth, it just sounds good. And most of them sound like breaker, breaker. It just sounds like somebody's talking through the speaker at Dairy Queen or something. 2 tips that would have helped me when I first got started. First one is when you put them on, there we go. When you put them on, you've got to make sure that they're pushed in. My dad always told me, you push it until it feels like it's touching your brain. That's how you know you went far enough. You got to make sure it's pushed in far enough. There have been a couple times where I didn't quite have it far enough and I heard a loud shot and it kind of rung my ears a little bit. And so I've kind of learned where the sweet spot is. These are using a thicker foam than like a silicone earplugs. It's kind of a thick foam there. And so when I first started using it, I felt like, is it gonna fall out? And it felt like it wasn't tight in there. But as I've used it over time, it's never popped loose in any way. You just gotta make sure that you put it in far enough to begin with, and they just don't work themselves loose. It just feels like they might. The second thing is, it's a little bit hard with these two different dongles on here to find the power button when they're behind you. So flip the power on and then put them on. It's a little bit easier. I guess I have 3 tips, because in the package when you first get them, they have different of these foam tips, a whole bunch, to make sure they fit your ears, different sizes and stuff. Some of them are silicone, and you may be tempted to try those. Those are not for shooting. It doesn't provide enough protection. You need to use one of the foam ones in order for it to work. In fact, I found a review online where a guy was complaining and saying, these don't work well. And he clearly has the silicone tips in for the whole review. And so it's like, yeah, I know, you're a guy, you don't read directions, that's what we do. But that was the issue. If you're wearing these, it shouldn't be a problem. I've tried a lot of different ear pro, and nothing just beat my standby muffs and these specific silicone plugs. They've just worked well for me. I didn't think I could be converted to the Axil, but it's been about 2 months now, and these are the ones that I've grabbed to take to the range every single time. I think they've won me over.